barbecue. We're here in Tryon, North Carolina at the Blue Ridge Barbecue Festival. And we are competing for the North Carolina State Championship, and we are from Chesapeake, Virginia. We're an all-girl team consisting of my sister, who's in from LA, myself from Chesapeake, my daughter Brittany, and she's from Florida currently, and then my other daughter is riding all the rides while we work.
Are y'all doing the 3 tonight too?
We're doing all 3 categories tonight because we figure since we're here, we might as well. And we're also glad to be here because my dad's the actual founder of this contest 18 years ago. It's hard to believe. And we won grand champion back in '04, so 7 years later we're hoping to maybe do well this year.
So what have you done since?
We do a lot of contests all throughout the country, but for 2 seasons obviously we were doing the Learning Channel Pitmaster Show, and then I've opened up a second restaurant in Chicago, so that has had me very busy. And so we're averaging 1 contest per month right now.
Rumor has it you're serving competition ribs in Chicago.
We are serving competition ribs in Chicago. I think we're the first restaurant in the country to do so, and I thought it was really risky, but at the same time we end up selling out of the competition ribs even before our house ribs, and it's very well received in Chicago.
What do they get for a plate of competition ribs?
$35.
That's it?
$35. And a lot of it is, it's for a full rack of ribs. Babies are St. Louis. They're 2 1/4 on downs. And truly it is what we do at competition. We add, additional techniques, additional ingredients, and it just makes a beautiful mahogany colored great rib. It's best to order them the day before just because of the high demand. We also have Kobe brisket there, which is what we use in competition. So it's high end, it's more of an upper scale barbecue in the Gold Coast section of Chicago, and the website is chicagoqrestaurant.com. And then Wood Chicks, of course, in Chesapeake, Virginia at woodchicksbbq.com.
Anything else?
Root for us, root for the girls. The girls hopefully will do well this year. And we're just glad to be here. The weather's beautiful, and we love all of our competitors around here. We're having a great time.
Welcome to Tryon Arts and Crafts, Tryon, North Carolina. We, in the community 50 years ago, some ladies got together and started what is now known as Tryon Arts and Crafts, and they wanted to do some weaving and carving and other things in the community. And fortunately, about 5 years ago, we were able to move out and have our own property and not share it with anybody else in the community, and to be able to develop new studios. And this is one of the most exciting studios that we have. It's our blacksmith studio. A gentleman, young man really, came to me at 14 years old and said, "I'd like to do an Eagle Scout project for Tryon Arts and Crafts." So I gave him 4 opportunities, and simple things from doing a landscape garden to redoing a studio inside our building, or if he wanted to do a blacksmith studio, and he picked this project. We started it in 2006. He was very ambitious with his father to do this. We took it on as a learning curve of basically doing a project management job, so he could learn what it takes to build a project from scratch. So we started with schematic designs. I had him go out and learn what each type of forge would look like. We had to find out where our funds would be. We developed budgets. We got a project team together, which was a gentleman that done an awful lot in his life with blacksmithing, Walt Myers. We also got a general contractor, who came out and donated an awful lot of his time and his license to put it together. And a lot of us just put our effort into it, got our tractors going, and built a blacksmith studio. We have 5 forges inside. At the main back wall is where we have what you call an authentic forge that was put together. We have actually with working bellows that will blow the air, and we still have a little bit of fire going in there. Let's see if we got the switch on. But we had a fire going a little bit earlier today. basically a coal fire, and you heat it up and you create a product called coke, which is a pure burning coal, and gives you an awful lot of the heat. The community chipped in, a lot of the people who are masons, contractors, building material individuals, and developed different, built majority of the different elements that you see here. And as time's gone on, we have added an awful lot to the facility. So this is where the instructor usually will work. We have got our anvils, which we have covered up right now. For each one of the stations, we have a total of 5 stations. The instructor's forge will be used with a student, and then the other 4 over here were manufactured and brought in, and each of the students has their own forge. They have an assembly table. And since we've had this, we have had instructors coming from basically all over the state who have come in and instructed different techniques, from making roses and flowers and leaves, tools for the fireplace, and we even manufacture knives in here, cutlery. One of our instructors will do that as well. But it's been quite an asset for Tryon Arts and Crafts, and is becoming quite the name throughout the area, and we're very proud of what he's done.
What do you charge for classes?
Well, they'll vary based upon the instructor and their skills. Some of them go anywhere from $125 up to $350 basically per person, and it could be a weekend workshop, or it can actually end up being a 6-week working program where they'll come in and every Saturday for 6 weeks work on something. Materials are purchased as they need it, and we have a stock in the back with all the tools that we have received from other donators throughout the community. We did receive some grant money, and actually the barbecue did help with some of the funding for this through the chamber, which they get funds through the barbecue, and we were able to utilize some of those funds for this facility.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, it's just a wonderful place and wonderful setting, as all of you will probably see if you visit the barbecue. We sit right next to all these activities going on, and just a wonderful valley and wonderful community, and we're pleased that we're able to offer this to everybody in the area. Hopefully you'll come see us someday.
Oh my! And it is the rum capital of the world.
Y'all
live that week, man. You're gonna get better as we go on with this deal right here. All right, now, in front of you, or in everybody's seat, you had one of these beautiful bags, and I know it's kind of hard to believe, but everything in that bag you're going to be able to take home today free of charge. It belongs to you, okay? This is a beautiful Coach handbag, simulated, of course. All right? Inside, you're going to find a sample bottle of rum, and there could be of a different variety than the guy next to you. Also inside, you're going to find one of these recipe books for making great rum cocktails. And if you want to take an extra for your friend or something, there's plenty in those drink caddies in front of you. Inside, a little information in the folder with some color photographs about rums of Puerto Rico, and you're going to need one of this. I'd pull that notebook out right now and open it up to the first page and put it in front of you. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be a surprise quiz coming up at the end of the class today that you don't know about. And we give away fabulous, wonderful prizes that you also get to keep and take home for every correct answer. And what do they get? If they give a wrong answer?
Beating.
Beatings. And the beatings will continue until you get the answers right. All right? Oh, so okay, now without further ado, let me bring to you Mr. Alexis Garcia, your rum ambassador. Rob! Come on!
It's a rum refill, all right? Get to be rowdy. You know, it's good food and good barbecue with good rum. All right, so how many people tried this before? Yeah, I remember. I don't remember so well, but I started remembering. But okay, this is our biggest brand of rum. Obviously, Bacardi is the biggest house we have. Bacardi started in 1862. Just so you guys know, we're going to be write down a couple of facts. We're going to be giving away prices and stuff like that, and you might want to go back and check it out. Right? So what I'll do is I'll talk like 5 or 7 minutes about the rum itself, and then we'll go to the tasting points. Okay? Does anybody know what the base of rum is? Sugar. It comes from the sugar cane, right? Okay, so we got a fact. Rum is a byproduct of sugar. Okay, so sugar cane started back in Asia, and it moved all the way to Egypt. The Egyptians were the one that perfected the distillation process, and whenever los moros came into Spain, they brought sugar cane with them. Okay, when in the second trip, Christopher Columbus, when he came to the Caribbean or the New World, he brought the sugar cane to the Caribbean, and that's how we ended up making rum. That was in 1493. That was the second trip that he came down that they brought sugar. Okay, Juan Ponce de Leon was the first governor from Spain in Puerto Rico, and he was the one that implemented the sugar industry in the island, and that's how we became the rum capital of the world. 70% of the rum sold in the U.S. is Puerto Rican rum. Okay, all right, so produce a lot of it. Has anybody ever tried donkey at all? Seen it before?
I have. I've had it.
All right, donkey is another big house that's coming strong to the U.S. now. They're starting to pop up in bigger cities, as well as Palo Viejo. You can get somewhere. Has anybody tried barrilito? No. Ron del barrilito means rum from the small barrel. Okay, these guys been also producing rum for a while. They started in 1880.
Well, what does barrilito mean?
It means
what's rum barrilito?
What? Rum from the small barrel.
The small barrel. That could be a good test question. I don't know.
They started in 1880. Okay, Donkey started in 1865, 3 years after Bacardi. Okay, and Donkey, you'll be trying today Donkey Gold. Donkey Cristal is more or less the same thing. So it's a light rum or a white rum as Bacardi that you had before. You're also going to be trying Barrilito today, which is this is a 3-star. They have a 2-star also. And this is a 6 to 10 year blend. Okay. All right. Has anybody had this Bacardi Reserva Limitada? You try that? All right. Bacardi Reserva Limitada. It's a 10 to 16 year blend. Okay. It's more or less like a $90 box. Try that.
That's number 4 on your sheet. I think you can lock that.
Number
Okay,
1.
yeah. All right. Right here you have Don Jugo Gran Añejo, which means great, great age.
year.
In Spanish. Gran Añejo.
Good year.
But not year, but age. But anyways, this is a 3 to 12 year blend. Okay. And if anybody wants to try that at the end of the class, I can. All right.
How do you spell it
Does
today?
anybody know where Puerto Rico is, longitude and latitude? Anybody know?
3864.
Well, you're at least kind of in the ballpark. It's 18 degrees, 15 minutes north, 65 degrees, 30 minutes west. That could be on the test. I don't know.
I just been around when we were talking.
It's gonna give you a hit every now and then, man.
All right. Okay, rum's one of the most versatile spirits out there. Really, you could do a lot of stuff with rum. There's a lot of varieties to rum. There's light rum or white rum. There's gold rum. There's dark rum. There's aged rums, spice rums. Okay. With rums, you have the versatility in the drinking. You could drink it straight up. You could sip it. You could drink it mixed. You could drink it with soda or juices. So it gives you that variety with drink it or frozen drinks and all that. You can drink it, you use it for cooking. So you have a lot of variety with rum. And today I know you'll be trying some rums that you haven't tried before. Oh, and I want to go to that real fast. Does anybody know where the rum came? I mean, the rum name came from. There's a couple of
Blackbeard.
No.
Johnny Depp.
Hey, I'll leave it right there. But it's not. There's a couple of theories of where it came from. And one of them is saccharum. Saccharum is sugar in Latin. It ends in rum, so it makes sense, right? Other people say it's because of the Rumbolians, maybe one of the pirates. There was a big Rumbolian, which is an uproar, and Michael show with a Rumbolian kind of mix, right? So we'll do our version of a Rumbolian.
All right, now this takes a little participation from the class. Y'all got to get involved here. Don't be nervous, but BBQ TV will be filming this, all right? On the count of 3, we'll teach you how to do the Rumbolian. It starts down here like this. You're going to have your hands down here. You're wiggling your hands, and you're going to raise them, and as you raise your hands, you get real loud, and then you got to bring that guttural growl out, okay? Just like your pie. Ready on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Pretty good, pretty good. I really, for the first time you did it, let's try it one more time. Uno, dos, tres.
I don't know what I know so straight means.
So, hand for that one.
We're gonna go back to that Rumbolian.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So, I don't fly.
you know the TSA motto. You're looking good. Huh? Telling. No, grope and hope. Grope and hope. That's what TSA.
Now, that's the first cooker I've ever seen you had to unscrew to get into.
We're afraid it's going to take off.
T for Tech Day, that pig's pole up in there.
George, I think we finally got that front shoulder. What's going? It's looking good.
What's the frame of that shit?
Hang on, man. Nah, it ain't gonna work. That might work.
Hey David, you can get them brisket down there once you're out there.
Made me nervous. What was that?
Got it.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith from Q Smokers and Trailers, QSmokersandTrailers.com, Kennesaw and Ackworth, Georgia, 770-547-0110. We can take care of all your barbecue and trailer and concession needs. Any smoker that you can imagine that can be built. We build a lot of custom smokers. We have insulated, non-insulated. We have water cookers. We have gravity feed cookers. Come talk to Scott Smith at QSmokersandTrailers.com or 770-547-0110. See our ads on eBay and Atlanta Craigslist. We have smokers, trailers, and cookers listed on both.
You're being captured for posterity, right behind you. I love the look.
All right, we need to be walking. Where's the scissors at? Donnie, we gotta go.
Got the towel, piece of foil over it. I got the foil.
You don't want me to run this? I can run it a little faster.
That'd be awesome.
Get the wet paper towel real quick, please, somebody. Oops. Wait it right here. Wait it right here. Here you go.
Come here, hold it.
Wash off this excess off these. How much time?
Ron, you got 2 minutes.
You got 3 minutes. I gotta go. I gotta go. I ain't supposed to count off the salt on that little.
We just finished judging whole hog, and it's different than the other barbecue that we judge in that we judged one hog at a time, and for the appearance, taste, and tenderness. And then we would move on to the next one. And it was really interesting. I preferred number 2. I wish I could tell you what I scored, but I'm not going to.
You don't want the scores.
Okay.
Which one you preferred?
I preferred my entry number 2, which was, it seemed to have the right, it was presented well. It had a good flavor to it. It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't underwhelming. The tenderness was just right on the mark across there. So, okay.
The whole hog was very, very good. 2 out of the 5 I scored fairly high, and the others were a little bit different. Which I mean by that is some of them were overdone, and some of them were oversauced, and some of them were not as tender as they should be, as you think they would be as a whole hog. But I like number 2 and number 5, I believe it was. Actually, both of them got identical scores for me.
What do you think? Which one? Go the bigger to fill out to the back? Yeah, go with the bigger. So you gotta turn them because some people are left-handed. So you gotta turn the chicken out.
Plus, we took all the legs off the chicken, so when they're out dancing, they can still.
Especially if you got one-legged chickens, they only walk in one direction.
But if you got 2 of them, they say spin.
Yeah. Scalpel.
And the name of the team is?
Creekside Smokers.
Thank you very much.
Each one individually, but overall they were quite good, I thought. Number 6 and number 2 were, I thought, particularly good. Number 5 was quite good. Again, I think the quality of this grouping was very good. They were extremely attractive, and the taste was pretty good. A lot of them had pepper in, which I like. That's a bias of mine.
I'll come back to him.
What do you want me to do?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What you thought about each one?
Number 1 was, in my opinion, the best of the lot. Had an excellent doneness to it, lightly flavored that enhanced the meat in every way. I was fairly well impressed with the second offering, but its tenderness was not as good as it might have been. It was a little bit dry. The third offering I thought was entirely too dry. The fourth was oversauced, which tended to overpower the meat and detracted from the entry. 5 was an excellent presentation in my judgment. I thought it was good taste, excellent tenderness on the meat, and a nice after bite to it. I was not impressed with 6. I thought it was way past done, a bit mushy, and had an odd aroma to it that I couldn't really pick up and did not like.
Number 1 was a pretty good selection. It was slightly on the sweet side. The skin flap was cooked well. And number 2, it was a little dry and a little peppery, and it had an afterbite that was okay, but the meat was kind of hidden by it. Number 3, although it was good, it was one of my least favorite of the lot. The skin flap was a little crude presented. And moving on to number 4, honestly, it escaped me. It's been a while since I just judged it, so that particular one, it's escaped me. I don't remember. And so it wasn't the outstanding one. And the second to the last one was had a tail on it, which was, I thought, slightly distracting, but it tasted well. And the last the last entry was probably one of the best tasting ones. Over here again, the skin probably could have been handled different, but to tell you exactly how, I'm at a loss to tell you exactly how.
George, you're a lifesaver. Pull that one out. That one may have to come back. Well, I'll try to straighten that one out. Up the very top.
Just do it here.
Make it prettier.
I don't want to touch it because it'll like fall apart. I don't think you're going to get 10 in there. I don't think you're going to get 10 in there.
I'm going to get 6 in there and I'm happy with that.
That magic number? 6 is a magic number?
After that little incident with the ninja, I'm afraid to touch anything that cuts.
Are you a knife shino?
And this guy is trained in emergency medicine, people.
Just not on himself. He's good with everybody else but himself.
Ready? Okay, short and sweet. 2 out of 6 were tough. 2 out of 6 were salty. I had 2 good ones, and all of them looked good in the box.
Okay.
All right. By and large, this is probably some of the better brisket that I have enjoyed at these contests. I'm originally from Texas, and I judge everything by Texas brisket. And these weren't too bad, but there were a couple a little bit too mushy for me, and no substance to it. But otherwise, the taste was pretty good.
This is my very first contest judging, and I had a great time, and I thought this brisket was great. There were 2 that I liked better than others, and I also thought 2 were pretty salty.
This is, I'm a master judge, judge about 40 contests. All 6 entries were very tender. 2 entries had a very good flavor to them. One was really, I did not like at all. But they were the most tenderest brisket that I've ever seen.
Well, I thought they all were tender except one. They all had pretty good flavor. They came apart just like you'd want them to. Very acceptable. A couple were 9s and a couple were 8s. I felt real pleased with them.
I found them to be pretty much all over the place. There was some that were real tender but kind of tasty, and some that seemed just a shade tough or an extra amount of marbling in them that kind of fell apart. So I'd say generally speaking it was everything you can imagine.